What's up guys, this is just a continuation off of the end of the last video. In this one we are going to be doing a couple things with the oil pump. I'm going to be putting in a new spring and everything to make that work flawlessly, as well as we'll get that put on with the chain. I'm hoping I can probably get the bottom end completely done. In the last video we got all of the rotating assembly in, as well as the oil pan baffle. Now we're doing the actual oil pump, as well as probably the rear main seal, and a bunch of stuff on the front of the motor so that we can seal up this bottom end. Starting off, we're working with this guy here. I'm actually going to be replacing the plunger, the spring, and I believe there's a cap in here. There we go. Got the snap ring out. Definitely invest in a pair of these pliers. Okay, I didn't film it, but I just popped this guy out. This is what we're going to be replacing. We're going to keep this end piece, however the spring, and there's a plunger that's supposed to be in here. I'm going to be replacing that, but essentially I just took a pick. I started kind of picking around, and then I just started banging it on the table, and eventually it popped right out. So just like that, we've got the old plunger out, and now this is a hollow empty hole. So I'm just going to clean it real quick with a rag. So you'll see on here, there is a tiny little seal. We're going to be replacing that, and then we're replacing the old spring and the old plunger. All right, there we go. So I got it under there. We're just going to rip it off. Perfect. Get a little bit of oil on my finger, just like that. I'm going to lube up this seal. New seal is in there. Then we're going to take our brand new spring. It's going to go down in here, just like that. And then this plunger goes on the other end. So pretty simple. It is super powerful though, so we're gonna have to be careful getting that snap ring back in. It's just gonna go straight in like this. I think we're good. Oh, that's scary. It's like a bullet or a bomb waiting to go off. Chain on there, and then we want as much slack on this side as possible because that tensioner is going to pull it out. So I'm going to try and get this side nice and tight. You'll see this side is pretty tight because all the tension is going to come out over here. Now we're going to take our new piece of safety wire and run it through here. Now you're going to take your vice grips, grab it down here, that way we've got some extra to use to go through the loops there. And we're going to twist it up and bend it over this way. Now we've got our two strands, which I'm going to split right here on the sprocket. And I'm just going to grab it again so I can pull it through as tight as possible. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap them back around through so they come out the front, do another little tie, tuck it against the sprocket, and cut off the excess. And just start twisting again. There we go. It's not super tight. It's just snugged up. Take a little pair of dikes, cut off the excess. Whoa. And then we'll just grab this and bend it down. Just like that. So now that is safety wired to the left because it backs off to the right, so it won't be able to spin no matter what. Next step is we're going to grab our tensioner that we drilled the holes and tapped for last episode, and then move your spring out of the way. I hope you guys can see that. It's down a little ways. But we're going to just pop this other bolt in. I'm going to snug those up off camera, but you can see now how that tensioner is going to work. It's just going to push up against this to keep the chain nice and tight while it's spinning at 7,200 RPM. All right, next step, I've got our actual timing chain. It's going to slip over right here. We're just going to hold that up. We're going to take this guy, and it'll ride inside of there. Just like that. And then this will go up to the head. Can't really see it, but it's gonna look something like that. All right, the next step is we're gonna take this Permatex copper spray gasket. I'm gonna actually spray it on both of these gaskets here. That way they can seal just that little bit better. That way we get no leaks once it's all back together. I'm gonna take my seal here and just hold it right up at the corner. I'm gonna just do a test spray. Looks good. And then we're just gonna spray both sides. Take it and lay it on. Okay, then we're going to take our bolts. You can tell which ones go where based on how long they are, or how long they need to be to actually thread into the block, because there's two different sizes here. All right, guys, I have flipped the engine back over. Front main cover is on. The rear main seal cover is on. I don't have the seal in yet. I'm going to do that when I go to put the transmission on. However, we do need to, before we put on the oil pan and the gasket, I'm going to take some black RTV and just run it over each of these mounting surfaces. There are 4 of them where both covers attach. That way it gives the best seal. And then with the gasket, it shouldn't be leaking out of here because there's already a gasket that comes up here. There's gonna be that little seal and then a gasket that runs all the way around. All right, so I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit right there. I'm gonna do it to all 4. Now I can just take my finger and spread it right across the crack. Just like that. All right, I just cleaned up the oil pan a little bit more. We are ready to throw this thing on. Now it's just a matter of getting it all lined up when I set it on. Check this out. It's starting to really take shape with the front cover and the oil pan on. But next step is to put the head on. Like we're getting close. I think I'm gonna stop this video here though. That is the entire bottom end done. All that's left is the head, and then eventually like motor mounts and oil filter housing, because there's nothing on either side yet. But wow, this is pretty sweet. So that's going to conclude it for this one. If you watched this far, again, I really appreciate you. This has been a really fun project. I'm having a lot of fun documenting it as well. I hope it comes across that way on camera. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Yeah, lately I've been going through it, and I know I'm sounding stupid, but it piles up a lot. Yeah, I just lost my dog, and now my dog is moving off the block. Headed to Atlanta, got a man up, but it's hard. I feel like I've been backwards for him. Back-to-back nights of practice for it. Walking tight ropes without a net, doing backflips and acrobatics for him.